Okay, so good morning and hello to everyone again. So before we begin, we'd like to kindly ask everyone to turn on your cameras for a quick group photo. This is also part of our documentation for National Training Week 2025 and helps us start the session on a more engaging and connected note. So we ask for everybody's cooperation for this photo session. Okay. Are we all set? Okay, so one, two, okay, one more, please. One, two. Okay. Okay, Sir Thomas just joined. Okay. Last one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on, sir.
Can I start?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. So today's course is how blockchain is shaping the future of business and technology, delivered by Garante Academy as part of our initiative to empower professionals with cutting edge knowledge and practical insight. So we are honored to have our trainer today, Sir Kamlesh Nagware, a global respected blockchain architect, TEDx speaker, and thought leader in the blockchain space. Sir Kamlesh brings over 15 years of experience in IT and financial services with more than 5 years dedicated specifically to blockchain technologies. So he is also a member of the Hyperledger Technical Steering Committee and the Hyperledger India chapter lead, where he has played a critical role in advancing enterprise blockchain solutions globally. His expertise spans and take full advantage of this opportunity. So, for a quick reminder, I will be dropping the attendance and certificate links 10 minutes before this session ends. So please make sure to fill it in before our session ends. So that's all for me now, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tia and Garento, and welcome to all the participants. So I think from last couple of days, we're doing this Malaysia I think training week, right? And we covered lots of topic, and in last 3 days, um, I covered on the financial services side, and then banking side, and then tokenization side, and CBDC side, right? And today is the topic beyond just CBDC and beyond the tokenization, where we're more talking about how the blockchain can use in a business and technology. So let's say users in supply chain, users in any other domain beyond the banking is right. So it is beyond just financial services use cases, but cover all aspect of the blockchain technology and is blockchain. So as usual, like the first understanding, because maybe few participants are new. So what is blockchain technology first? So it is a distributed database technology where the data is being recorded in a block format and is stored in multiple location. That is consensus mechanism for agree on the data is stored in this ledger. This is technically definition of blockchain, and it offers the security and transparency and trust, and using a smart contract. It could remove the uh, kind of middleman or middle third party entities in the business cycle. So fundamentally, technologically, it is just a distributed database stored in multiple location, and uses the consensus mechanism for agree on the data, and using the smart contract for automating the business logics and flows. And I think in a more detailed way, like what it offers to the businesses, because this is very important slide whenever any businesses is thinking how they can apply blockchain. So they can see the fundamental here. Let's say uh, in any of the blockchain network, at least minimum three, at more than one entity is required, because when you're talking about, so blockchain is not just for XYZ bank or XYZ company is implementing it. It should be implementation across the business network, let's say supply chain network, or let's say government, where government are issuing the some certificate across all the now data is shared, data is replicated across all the entities, and you can rely on the data. And now data is shared between all the participants, so there is a complete transparency. So like nobody can kind of can question like I have different data and you have different data, because currently in the existing business setups, everybody having their own SAP ERP, or everybody having their own implementation or own IT systems altogether. And when they are talking the business language, they always communicate via different form of communication, where there is a email exchange, where there is a API data communication, whatever. But the ownership of the data is in silos. But using blockchain, you could connect all the system, and now data is become shared. So you can trust the data. A smart contract is feature where you could write your business logic and your automation, and it will remove the reconciliation, or remove the third party from the business cycle. Consensus mechanism. So like when we updating data in one server, it is very easy because you own it. But when you're talking about updating the ledgers, multiple ledgers, and on by multiple stakeholders, you need some trust or some kind of agreement mechanism to insert the data or update the data, and that called consensus mechanism is in blockchain. And uh, in Bitcoin, it was calling as a proof of work or mining or proof of stake. All is a form of consensus mechanism to achieve the agreement on the data being written to blockchain ledger. Immutability. So like blockchain has a feature like every data is stored in a block format and connected to each other. And if you understand the computer science language, so it is some kind of linked list kind of arrangement, where every block is connected to previous block, and so on. And that bring the security, because if you want to modify one data from one block, it you need to modify all the chain altogether. This is one. And second, also this same ledger is replicated across multiple servers. So you need to also modify all the servers data and all the previous blocks to temper any data in blockchain, and that gives a security and immutability to the blockchain network. And now, and another benefit is like distributed ledger. So now, unlike a web server technology, where the one server is responsible for providing the information to the front end application, and as always, if one server goes down, your application is going down. But in blockchain, the same server is available and having the data and responsible of getting data. So in that case, if any of the server goes down, still you have a number of copies, a number of servers available. So some kind of replicated, distributed, and replicated data available. So single source of truth, or we can say like fault tolerant, is achieved, because you could get data from the different ledger itself. And uh, why blockchain technology? So answer is trust, because I mean, immutability is the one, security is one, anonymous is one, programmable, distributed, and this is the typical uh, blockchain benefits. Trust on the data being written to ledger. Traceability. So you have audit trail of the data, let's say if one data is inserted, so how it is inserted, if modified, so how it is achieved. So you, I think you can update the ledger, but when you update the ledger, always the trail is being there. So, and temper proof, where the every data is in a hashing format, and ensure like if someone is modifying data, is always having a thread. So this is the kind of blockchain benefit. And how businesses can leverage the blockchain, that is depend on how they want to look. So maybe short term to medium term blockchain benefit, let's say business opportunities, reducing settlement time, because whenever you work with business, many participants, always some kind of reconciliation or some settlement time is required. But using blockchain, you could reduce the settlement time, or could be real time settlement. Improve liquidity. So improve liquidity means like now settlement is happening real time, or let's say using tokenization, you're doing fractional ownership. So liquidity is increased. And some new market, as let's say stable coin or CBDC, is a completely new market with coming out of blockchain. Operational efficiency, where you are making the intermediary cost lower, because using smart contract you can automate the lots of work and lots of process and settlement time. So maybe you need intermediary, but their cost is decreased because dependency is now decreased already. And the automation of your business logic in workflows and reconciliation, and also you can use this data for compliance and regulatory purpose, let's say audit trail, or let's say privacy concern, cyber security. All this is benefit. Uh, but blockchain is not crypto. It's beyond crypto. We'll talk about more those are things like blockchain is not crypto. It is beyond crypto economics. So blockchain is applicable to across all these industries, whether it's finance, whether it's CBDC, healthcare, telecom, and supply chain, media entertainment, public sector, climate, education, identity, energy, insurance. And all this is a enterprise use cases or the enterprise blockchain use cases. The nothing is a crypto token in the public chains. It's all about how the enterprises, governments, and institutions are applying blockchain for their operational efficiency or business efficiency uh, thing. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk about some specific use cases or case studies available here. So, but before that, let's say what is the different use cases, right? And so I divided some category or some use cases wise. So let's say insurance and banking. So KYC use cases, cross-border payment, interbank payment, trade finance, financial services, so equity, debt security, trade finance, identity management, escrow account, healthcare like pharma track and trace, drug provenance, health records, organ registry, government number of use cases in the digital identity, birth registration, digital voting, asset tracking, land records, manufacturing and supply chain, asset track and trace, asset provenance, loyalty program in media entertainment, digital rights, and track and trace. Loyalty program, food authentication, cargo track and trace, education certificate. So let's say universities now started issuing degree certificates on blockchain, agriculture like traceability of food or traceability of seed, and asset ownership in mining, asset tokenization in mining, or gold tokenization, mine tokenization out there, real estate, so fractional ownership, title insurance, real estate tokenization. So number of use cases in different sectors. So, and it is not the theoretical use cases. There are many number of case studies available publicly. So we will talk about that one by one. Uh, but I think before that, I think we need to understand the spectrum of blockchain. So there are different types of blockchain categorized as a public blockchain and private blockchain. But we can define more in a more categories by, let's say, uh, permission and permissionless, public versus private. So public. Uh, So what is public versus private means like who can read from blockchain. So visibility perspective, we call it a public or private. The public blockchain, let's say Ethereum and Bitcoin. Everybody can read the data from blockchain, right? So it's a public blockchain. But let's say private blockchain, let's say Hyperledger Fabric or any of the government blockchain implementation is a it is a private blockchain. So this is the visibility perspective. We can define public versus private. Now, accessibility perspective, like who can write to blockchain? So that is called permission versus permissionless. So permissionless like Ethereum and Bitcoin, where everybody can write it and read it. So so what could be combination is a public permissionless blockchain and government or the other use cases where only permissioned user can write to blockchain and permissioned user can read the blockchain. So this is the some kind of thing. And I think it's not like saying like only private blockchain or permission blockchain is the requirement. Maybe case to case basis there are all size of blockchain is required. So here's given an example. Let's say how this thing is categorized. So let's say Bitcoin and Ethereum is a completely permissionless public blockchain. It's permissionless public blockchain. And so is that so any kind of cryptocurrency or any kind of the public facing use cases, let's say social media, Facebook or Twitter could be on public blockchain, public process, public and permissionless blockchain. Now, permissionless but private blockchain. So let's say public voting, right? Where only selected person can do the voting, but it visible to is visible to I don't know, I think permissionless like anybody can write it, but only right person can read it. So let's say voting mechanism, right, where we allowing everybody to write the cast their vote, but only the authorities can read it. Uh, just give me 1 minute. I'm coming back. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So we're talking about like the spectrum of blockchain where like we is not like one blockchain can solve all the different kind of use cases. So depending on the uh, write or read access, you can define the use cases. So let's say uh, we understand like permissionless blockchain, permissionless and public blockchain, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Used for the tokens, crypto, or any of the public open use cases kind of thing. But let's say permissionless and private, where the anybody can write it, but only selected participant can kind of read it. So this is a voting kind of use cases. There are a couple of use cases where the permissioned and public, where the only selected person can write it, but anybody can read it. Let's say land title, for example, let's say university degrees, where it is simple use case because let's say degree is issued by the university and can verify by anyone. So here, like the permission to write it, but anybody can read it. And the permission and private where the actually business use cases, or let's say medical record, for example, right? So medical record is a typically any hospital should write it, and only relevant person or relevant authorities or department can see the medical record. This kind of category you can define the use cases, and then you can plan like what is the best or relevant blockchain protocol, whether you need a public blockchain, whether you need a private blockchain, or you need a some kind of in combination of both. So I think this we covered last time. Maybe we can skip it. But I think this is a very growing market. So is around, I think BCG Consulting saying that tokenization itself could become around $16 trillion business by 2030. And what kinds of different use cases out there? So there's a, let's say, equity of home equity, equities, real world assets, investment funds, bonds, other financial assets. So this is going to be wait, I'm connected. Okay, I'm connected. And this is Citibank report around, which is I think you should read, is money tokens and games, blockchains next billion users and trillions in value. So this is the report on the blockchain's adoption. So, and tokenization could be around uh, the number of values given, and uh, $4 to $5 trillion of tokenized digital securities and one of the digital student entity. So this is like this big numbers are showing the current what to call current market value of the, let's say, there's around non-financial corporate and sovereign debt is around 187 trillion, and out of this 1.1 trillion could be tokenized by 2030. This is a real estate funds which is around $20 trillion market globally and could be 1.5 trillion tokenized, and this would be private equity and venture capital 7 trillion, and could be could be taken on 0.7 trillion. And similarly, trade finance is a $12 trillion market globally and could be tokenized 1.0 trillion. And similar for the securities and collateral is a $42 trillion market, could be tokenized. So this is by 2030, and see about if all this could tokenize, it become a good market. And these are the use cases we already discussed, from cryptocurrency, utility tokens, security tokens, CBDC, stablecoin, NFTs. I think no need to cover this one. Now, I think this concept we not discussed so far. So DAO is a direct. It is one of the automated uh, directed autonomous organization. No, decentralized autonomous organization. So now this kind of automated organization coming. So let's say even a couple of countries in I think where the DAO is a proper legal entity is acceptable, or the legal. So what is DAO? DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization where you are uh, giving rights and the decision to the decision making power to the one smart contract only. So you define, let's say one smart contract, uh, let's say for example delivery versus payment kind of thing. So when the sub goods are delivered, payment make automatically without manual intervention. Uh, those kind of use cases. So think about there are smart contract between supply and manufacturer and logistics and distributor, and you create a complete ecosystem, and now all this thing run automatically. Whenever some condition reaches, it will settle the transaction. So, and DAO could be applicable to any kind of use cases. Let's say, for example, if you want to make any governance in any of the, so and that's why you must be heard, right? Every blockchain system has their own DAO system. So for the governance, so governance perspective, DAO is a powerful concept. So decentralized autonomous organization where program itself can take a decision uh, about what action need to take. Okay, so now what kind of use cases being built globally, right? So use cases, let's say sustainable supply chain, where you want to see the sustainability in the supply chain, whether the raw material import or the supply chain following the neutrality or carbon emission guidelines, those kind of things. So there are many certain supply chain use cases that way. Food traceability is very common, where the traceability of meat traceability or the any of the let's say a couple of projects where I did where we did the traceability of even traceability of milk product. I think any kind of the food traceability and CBDC, central bank digital currencies globally. In telecom use cases, let's say anti-spam telecoms blockchain. So where let's say you are monitoring the spam call or spam messages and then allowing only filtered messages coming back to the customer. And clearing and settlement, because every banking system needs some kind of clearing and settlement of their payments, digital payments. So that could be on blockchain. Education and skill credential. So every education institute issue some kind of credential certificate or degree certificate. That all could be on blockchain. Trade finance is very big popular use cases from supply, from letter of credit, bill of lading, or electronic bill of lading. And I think many instruments out there, some documentation or some uh, compliance perspective. To trade finance, we have a number of use cases. Let's say invoice financing or supply chain financing, e-governance, where all the different governments are implementing blockchain from the e-governance perspective. Even I was talking to, even we did some project in Malaysia for some use cases on the land records out there. Waste management, like because recycling, let's say what do you call um, plastic recycle or carbon credit or any of the waste management processes where you want to see the traceability, because lots of fraud or happen in this waste management processes, especially in plastic recycle or the battery recycling processes. So those could be there could be used blockchain for carbon credit generation out of this recycling processes. Carbon credit tokenization, where tokenizing of the, let's say, any deforestation project or any carbon credit removal projects. Identity management, identity of, let's say there are use cases in India called Digi where this is a system where you are giving identity to the air traveler. And then I think any kind of identity management could be used on blockchain, and not just the person identity, but could be even uh, identity within any banking or any system where you want to prove your identity and credential before accessing any services. That could be on blockchain as well. Uh, this kind of certification, like however educational credentials, then could be vaccine credential. Agriculture value chain, where the you are use cases in agriculture sector. KYC and AML, we discussed vaccine distribution, renewable energy. There are a number of use cases in renewable energy out there. Uh, Peer-to-peer trading, kind of use cases. Real estate tokenization and NFT, metaverse, all. So there are a number of use cases which is already happening out there, and we can find many case studies related to this organization, these use cases. Now let's go through some cases available. So this is one of the case studies which is doing by Aditya Birla Group, which is the traceability of the supply chain. So it is supply chain from forest to fashion, where all the import to the manufacturing, and then customer delivery, everything is being tracked on blockchain, and the carbon accounting and certification done for the sustainability perspective. And this project called Green Tech, which is already live. This is one use case of sustainable. So, what are the use cases we discussed? We will now see about their specific use cases, case histories available. This is the one of use cases which done by United Nations program, and GMR is one of the uh, company in India, which is the traceability of vaccines from across supply chain. This is the telecom use cases, so where you are kind of tracking the use cases. I think tracking the SMS. So let's say every SMS coming to the user, it must be following the all the guidelines or all the approval. So you simply, like, if the particular text messages is not approved by the regulatory or maybe telecom operator, it should not come to the user's phone actually. So this telecom subscriber in India causing bad customer experience, propagation of fake news, and leading to the financial scam. So now every telemarketers who are sending messages to the users, it must be registered and must be following the templates described by this telecom operators, or I think so. Now all the telecom operators in India is working with the TRAI is the Telecom Authority of India, which manages the all the regulation and guidelines for the telecom operators. So I think this kind of use cases could be applicable to every country, where because every country has similar kind of issues. This is talking about the Digiyatra, where all the 24 airports and 15 million already users, and this is a digital identity for air travelers, and it uses the blockchain for verifying the person's identity and its data, and then allows a smoothless travel to the airport. So I think this kind of solution already there in multiple countries, but that was not using blockchain, where the data is maybe storage, centralized storage. Here, this is the blockchain-based implementation, where every data is residing on the user's phone, and nothing is being stored in the airports or the airlines. So this kind of use cases. This is CBDC there are already, and there are multiple CBDC report in a China. I think we discussed either the China, in the Bahamas, and the E-Naira. Already successful case studies available. And there's in India as well. There are a number of use cases as well. A number of users already on CBDC. And all these banks is part of CBDC project in India. We can skip this one. And there are a couple of things in the bond market as well. So this is one use case implemented, where the 90% of the all the bond markets being settled on blockchain, on a hyperledger blockchain. This is one of the trade finance use case being done by the um, kind of SBI, Yes Bank, and ICICI Bank with HSBC for the Reliance trade finance transaction. And there are many number of basic use cases where in supply chain. Let's say this is one supply chain use case in traceability of the chili powder traceability. So there's a company called Sri Tatva, which is the company who process the or sell the chili powder. So is implemented use case out there, and this is mostly maybe because this is a low value item, but still the compliance perspective may be required some kind of authenticity of product. So this is one use case. A couple of, let's say this is organic, right? Always concern about the organic product. So how you will ensure the organic product on supply chain? This is the one use cases where you organic organic credential you are verifying on blockchain. So everything from crop management to sustainable practices being recorded on blockchain, and authenticity and trust with the data is recorded, and then whenever consumer just see the QR code, it will So end-to-end traceability and the data points about the organic item. And in vegetables, so food as well, I think is maybe you could maybe every item or every low item can't be tracked, but you could at least define the processes and bring some sustainability or some kind of compliance data around the certification. So this is the use cases. And this is agriculture sector use cases where the traceability of seed. So this is one of the government implementation where they are implementing end-to-end connected supply chain for seed. So whether seed quality, seed certification, or authenticity, and single source of truth from end to end, whether this seed is real or not. Those kind of use cases. And there are many use cases in the supply chain financing as well. This one, and this we can skip this one. And I think this Finternet, where you could think about the similar kind of uh, global financial system for the future, where there's a decentralized identity, there is a ledger infrastructure, there is a programmability programmable chain, programmable blockchain, programmable money, and decentralized directories. And I think this is already started building. So there's a couple of organization already building. So Just Pay, The Silence Laboratories, Finance, Solana blockchain. So they are building a Finternet kind of infrastructure where the digital identity kind of what you call custody, wallet infrastructure, all being created together and open for the world. So this is a Finternet, and this is Finternet architecture. So if you and there's a detailed copy available. So I think you can simply search the Finternet. I think one white paper and another is a technology white paper. So in white paper is cover about the what is the visioning about, and the technology they talked about how the technologically is going to implement it. So think about the user is interacting on tokenized equities and tokenized deposits and tokenized real estate and tokenized central bank money and one unified ledger. And this could be a replica of such unified ledgers in different countries, and all is connected to via common infrastructure, or at least there is a uh, there is a some and there is a interlinking or the interoperability between this tokenized infrastructure. And then you could connect existing applications or existing stakeholders to this network. So let's say central bank and commercial banks, and then asset management companies, private public companies, real estate registries. So all is managing the token, let's say issuance, management, and synchronization. Then couple of verifiers, lockers, testers, and then on top of it, you build your own applications, which is let's say digital wallet, financial apps, non-financial apps, e-banking thing, and everything is being recorded on the some digital infrastructure, which has the identity, which has the digital signature, which has the blockchain layer, which has the tokenization infrastructure, and also focus to create the laws, regulation, rules, and governance around this ecosystem. So this project is initiative of BIS. BIS is a uh, banks for international settlement. So I think this is lot is happening. So now a couple of data points which says the like blockchain maturity is happening, and it is really solving the business and the technology problems. So this is the if you see this is Gartner data point, and Gartner's predict blockchain maturity around 2025, and we are in 2025, and now even I can see, because now use cases is not people just doing for the sake of the technology or not doing for the POC. Now there are enough POC product or case studies available globally, which simply can give data point whether you need blockchain or not. So like early 2020, the it was enabling the enabling technology, and then 2020 is around blockchain inspired. So you must be seeing like everyone is building use cases, blockchain, and lots of hype around 2020, right? And then in middle, where the actually let's say where currently we are is all about use cases being built or use cases is available, and by 2030 it could be blockchain enhanced. That means like blockchain will become an integral part of the every business solution, which is or is not like how the cloud is currently part of the every solution, right? And and we are not talking about the cloud is a technology, right? Earlier, like there are lots of cloud certification people doing and just saying the cloud is technology, but now cloud is becoming an integral part of it. Let's say how the Kubernetes, how the Docker is a become a become a common standard for shipping the software. Same blockchain could become a one piece of the technology being implemented out there in global. And so is a encryption, immutability, tokenization, decentralization, and distribution. And by 2025, it will becomes maturity, and by 2030, it will become a enhanced blockchain system where it has become an integral part of the every solution being built out there. And these are some couple of reports. So this is a report from PwC. This is like by 2030, it could be 1.76 trillion to global economy by 2030. And most businesses will be using blockchain technology by 2025. And that's why if we heard like in the currently every bank is talking about the stable coin tokenization, CBDCs, or governments are building on the e-governance system. Uh, I think this has become more common. So this is couple of mm, protocol wise which blockchain is preferred. So if you see like Hyperledger Fabric is very popular amongst the other blockchains, and then Ethereum. And this Ethereum is not like public Ethereum, but it could be a private Ethereum because organization and government not going to use the public chain. But so till Fabric, Ethereum, Quorum, Coda, all is a uh, private permission blockchains. And then couple of use cases, let's say PayPal, Bitcoin, or Citibank. Citibank is also using the Ethereum based use cases actually, and and a couple of like this use cases. And this global adoption happening around the global initiatives. So there are country-wise specific national blockchain institutes being set up. So there is a Australia National Blockchain Roadmap, and you can simply go to the website and you can find it. So for example, if you go to, let's say, Australia Blockchain Roadmap, so there is a complete data points available. Or okay, what is not a so much slow. I am connected, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but I think this internet is not working. Okay, it's showing not able to search. Okay. So I was saying there are country-wise different initiatives. So there's an Australia National Blockchain Roadmap, the China blockchain, and I think recently Malaysia also launched the one national blockchain strategy, and I think they launched. So I think you from mostly from Australia. So let me show you. So I say to Sriman sir, this Malaysia blockchain infrastructure launched. So to accelerate the development of use of blockchain in Malaysia, government-backed nation will launch the Malaysia blockchain infrastructure. So, so in similarly, Malaysia, correct. I'm saying the same thing. I am sharing the link spent the news. Yeah. So it's a it's already there. So similarly, there are different countries. China having a China blockchain BSN infrastructure, EU having a complete EU blockchain strategy for all the EU countries, Estonia, Dubai blockchain strategy, India also having a India national blockchain strategy, which is already is in execution place. And United United States is not more about the use cases, but they're more about the regulatory perspective on the stable coin and on the token perspective. But I think India, Dubai, EU, China, Australia, and then Malaysia, or there are more countries as well. I talked about some big countries only, but there are almost every country is building their own uh, blockchain strategies and where they want to implement blockchain, how, what is the priority, whether they want to build infrastructure, build use cases, all is a part of that thing. I think that's this I covered last time, last yesterday as well. Like, what is the adoption? Because talking about the adoption, so we should say some numbers. So this is a JP Morgan's Kinexys or Onyx project, which is doing approximately $1 billion of transaction each day. Uh, right? And this is Citibank, similar kind of case management platform doing $1 billion transaction each day on um, customers. This is a even big, very very big project which is running by Broadridge for the repo transaction settlement is doing $1.4 trillion a month kind of transaction, and is always having some kind of a data point and how much is saving to the businesses. And similarly, because all this is financial use cases three, but now this is use cases about the how the governments are using. So there's a verifiable organization network which is started by government of British Columbia, Ontario, and Canada, which includes actually every organization and the issued some uh, credentials for their businesses or their shops, so whatever kind of thing, right? So issued the digital identity to the everyone, citizens to the even organizations on blockchain. And this is already is in place in British Columbia, Ontario, and Canada. And there are already 5 lakh, I think, almost 500K companies and 1.4 million credential already issued to this thing. So this is very big case study. You can go to this Hyperledger website and can find out the more detail what is the benefit. Another, this is a Dubai blockchain, so smart Dubai project where they are having a number of use cases. There are 24 use cases they identified under their blockchain strategy, and the use cases from finance to security or hotel, tourism, real estate, or transportation. So Dubai Custom Department, land registry, paperless strategy, all is being implemented. You can go to this Dubai digitaldubai.ae and see the blockchain initiatives. So I think Dubai Custom Department, Land Department, and even they have proper regulatory. So there's a VARA is one regulation, ADGM is one regulator for the tokenization in the crypto companies out there. EU blockchains, there are all 27 EU countries having their European Blockchain Services Infrastructure (EBSI), and they identify use cases in identity and education and some document traceability or some security pass use cases, which is already, and I think they even defined regulations around the regulation around the even uses of the digital wallets. So self-sovereign identity use cases in Europe. And I think similar kind of you can go to this Hyperledger website. You can find hundreds of such, not hundred. There are I think 200 plus such case studies available, use cases available. Which organization using which use cases? Even I can walk through. And but I think still the couple of things is challenge. One is the crypto laws, right? And crypto laws, especially in few countries, is ready. Few countries are still lacking it, or maybe, and crypto laws is very very challenging because is you need to align with global leadership, because because its technology is global technology is distributed actually, right? So you can't one country can't define the laws and then restrict. you need to define global laws, and that's why this Financial Stability Board or IMF or the World Bank and even G20 presidency talking about the global roadmap of the crypto laws. But some specific laws is in place in different countries. So let's say US has some different regulation, UAE regulation, Singapore has some regulation around it. So one is a crypto regulation, right? Another is a data privacy laws, because uh, if we understand the blockchain technical part, in blockchain you are storing data which is impossible to delete, right? Immutability is a main core feature. But data privacy law says, like, whenever the customer asks for the data to be removed from the system, it should have that feature. But this is contradicting the blockchain feature, right? Like blockchain says like data is being recorded in blockchain can't be altered or manipulated or deleted. But data privacy law says like data, whatever data is being written to systems on the customer's request, it should be deleted. Correct. So this kind of these two challenges. One is the crypto laws, another is the data privacy laws. And there are a couple of things is happening, and some because so let's say recently Singapore make some announcement like so all the crypto companies setting up in Gujarat, setting up in Singapore and providing services to other global need to be registered with the regulatory bodies in Singapore. Similarly, in India, all the crypto companies being set up in a FIU unit of Ministry of Finance, and there is a income tax is in place for the all the crypto transaction trading. But I think still, I think this regulation laws are challenges. So what is my thinking? It could be next 5 year the CBDC adoption is going to be adopted faster in many countries. Tokenization is becoming a reality with number of use cases. The startup ecosystem is growing. Uh, Growth of blockchain companies, the number of blockchain projects is keep coming. So this is the thing on blockchain adoption side. I want to show you that Hyperledger use case tracker. So you can refer what is being. I don't know. I think whenever I share a screen to in Malaysia and Singapore, I think my internet works. But my web search is restricted. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, so anyway, I think that's it. Any question for me? If you want to connect, you can connect me on LinkedIn. Or in order to get into programs where we running couple of programs for blockchain and for fintech and banking leaders, we running specific programs on different technologies.
Okay, so Sir's LinkedIn is on the Zoom chat, so you can connect with him and ask him personal questions with this topic as well. And if you want to discover all of other courses in Garanto, you can reach him as well. Our attendance and certification links are also on the Zoom chat, and kindly send a message or in type a message in the Zoom chat if you cannot access the link so we can help you. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Kamlesh.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. So, may we have another photo if it's okay? Okay, Sir Sahalan. Hello. Sir Imran. Hello again. How about others? Uh, Okay, one, two. Okay, that's all from me and Sir Kamlesh. Again, everybody, thank you so much and have a great day.
Yeah, great day. Bye bye.